December 2nd, everybody. How are you? Thank Kirby here till 10 o'clock. We've got Sophia Mantell joining us very shortly. She's just connecting. And a very special guest called Harley Neville. 2 first names. Interesting. Film producer, he's an actor. And he might have been on the show before, but he hasn't had the Thane Kirby once-over. I'll tell you that right now. If you'd like to comment, you can in the comment section. If you want to join the show and be part of what we're doing here, then you can as well. We'll put that link up in the comment section. I think I'm going to do it right now. And then, hey presto, it's up. It's ready for you. It's a happening thing. Of course, you can always donate to help us pay our bills, i.e. the restream, which is $50 per month. You can go to talkback.co.nz to make an instant donation. Right now, let's welcome to the show Sophia Mantell. How are you? And very good evening.
Hi, good. I am just dealing with 2 children that are fighting each other.
Are you?
Aren't you? She says yes.
Good.
Me. Also, the deck door is not closing properly, so I was having like a little bit of an issue over there with that. What are you doing?
How's your face going?
My face?
Yeah, good. You happy with it? Looks great from where I'm sitting.
Thanks. What are you saying to me? What? 5 minutes only.
Okay.
What?
Just going into the drama. It's great. Fabulous.
You can't do Duolingo. No, you can read for 5.
Okay, so there you go. Go check us out on our Instagram and also our podcast. It's being watched and listened to all over the world. If you missed this show, it is on demand on YouTube. Go check out all our shows. Coming up after 10 o'clock, Benny Mack, our official fact checker, turns into the host of Talking Smack with Benny Mack. And can I say it's one of the better shows on nighttime television.
Are you saying it's better than our show? Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes, yes.
You don't like hearing me say shh to the children? They accidentally turned on some television in the bedroom. I don't understand.
Why would they do that? So silly.
Silliness.
So silly.
Ridiculousness.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, what?
What? You're talking. Focus on you now. Talk.
I don't like it when you put that on that. That's better.
Let's welcome in our fact checker, Benny Mack.
Okay.
Benny, how are you, mate?
Bloody marvellous. I had a slight altercation today. I managed to make the burn bleed. But other than that, all's above board. And I'm running the green screen today. There's a slight delay. But that's all part of the technicalities here. We're literally doing the development for this Restream.io website in real time.
Perfect. Perfecto. Profitable day today?
Oh, highly profitable day. I tell you, I'm literally making money hand over fist, and it's all this counterfeit food I'm selling on the black market.
Is it the peanuts? Are you selling peanuts again? What the hell happened to your head?
You didn't watch the show last night.
No.
Did somebody take a little swing at you?
It's a Z, and I was in a fire. I got caught in a fire.
What? Come closer to me. Closer.
You're like his mum. I want to see that.
Is going on there?
I got caught in a fire.
Okay. That looks suspicious. I'm not sure what it's from, but it doesn't seem like you got a fire.
You should have seen it last night. And the night before that, it had a blister.
Oh.
Sheesh.
You need to. I just went out and got this for Thane before. Can I
Story
show
stacks
someone
up.
what it is, Thane?
Yeah, of course.
Itchy, dry skin.
Oh,
He
yeah,
came over and his legs looked like they'd been attacked by moths or something, but moths that were really energetic and liked flesh. And so I zipped down to the old chemist warehouse. I saved $9.50 on this, apparently.
Fabulous, Sophia, fabulous.
Don't knock it till you try it. Bargain hunting.
I have,
It's a
and
bargain.
it was fabulous.
I'm going to use some. Watch this.
Here we go, guys. This is what it's all about.
Wow, this is gonna really rate with the incel community.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
So nourishing. You should have some on your head, but it's an investment. I'm going to put I won't show my foot because that's a bit weird.
If you ever get burnt, there's actually this special gel that you put on it. It's actually aqua gel, and instead of letting the wound dry out and putting plasters over it and letting the scab form, you're actually meant to use the aqua gel, keep the wound moist. The white blood cells will actually travel across the surface of the wound and will heal, and it will actually do so without scarring.
That sounds disgusting. Also, lavender essential oil is really good for burns, so you know.
I appreciate you. I appreciate that suggestion.
And Jodie William, who is a incredible nurse and human, says, Benny, always cover a burn. Always cover a burn.
Yeah. This is just a sort of very superficial burn. And I'm actually trying to get a bit of character. I think my complexion's too clean, and I look too smooth. And I want to try
You're going to ignore her advice completely. Is that what you're saying? Great.
Fantastic, matey. Thank you. We'll check back with you very shortly. Welcome, Jodie William. Welcome to the show. And anyone who comments tonight goes in the draw for something. That's a
what is it?
We'll find something that's in the room and send them that. Could be anything.
Can we send you saying dry and itchy?
Never shake a baby. Never.
That's
all right. What have we got? 10 minutes past 9 o'clock. Our special guest has arrived. Harley Neville, how are you?
Kia ora, I'm very good, thanks. Can you hear me?
We got you loud and clear.
Yeah.
Nice one. Whose cool music is that I can hear? There we go, it's gone.
Yeah.
That's
a little bit of the
sci-fi background bed. Do you like it?
Right. Yeah, it's very revealing. Normally I have a studio. I could have used the studio tonight. I've got a studio in my at my house. But actually I was locked out of it. My microphone was unavailable. I had my backup crappy microphone ready to rock.
Wow.
And then I got here just in time. So you're gonna have to live with this bed background. And also my crappy camera too. I've got a good camera from Canon, and it's broken twice, and they're sending it back to me for the second time. So
you've got the chair, you've got the microphone.
Yeah,
you've got it all.
Got the bed in the background.
It's funny, we've got this perception thing, because I honestly, when you came on, thought, Jesus, it was pretty professional.
Oh, that's good. This is me at my rookie level. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Excellent.
You'll have to tune into my podcast. I do it from the studio every Sunday. So
we're easily impressed, obviously. So
what's your podcast about?
So it's about love, life, and loss, and the pursuit of filmmaking glory. And my mate and I my best friend and I have been doing it for it's about 6 years now.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just sort of us chatting about filmmaking and pursuing our goals and our dreams as filmmakers, but also it's kind of about our friendship. And sometimes we might fall out on air, or we'll have sort of discussions, robust discussions and that type of thing. So it's filmmaking, but if you're not into filmmaking, you can still enjoy it because it's about friendship as well.
What's the longest you haven't spoken to each other after falling out from an episode?
Well, we had an episode, not the last one, but the one before. We had a huge blowout on here, and basically didn't talk for the week until the next episode, and then we postponed the next episode by 1 day, because we had to have a meeting instead to discuss it all.
I love that.
But I mean, it's good. We've been making movies together since we were 16, and we're both 38 now. So it's a it's a long old journey. Yeah.
What do you? Have I seen any films? Sorry, I've got Netflix.
I can see you've done your research, Thane, on the guest. That's good. I've done. So my big claim to fame would be, well, sort of our big break rather, would be I Survived a Zombie Holocaust, which was a film commission film.
Was Rhiannon in that one?
Yes, Rhiannon Johannick was in that one. Yes, she was. Yeah. Yes. So that was.
That's got everyone's attention.
Yeah, I was the lead in that, and my bestie was the writer director, and we both had a hand in the producing as well. And so that was kind of our big break, I guess, in 2015. And then since then we've gone on to make a second feature film called Older, and a web series which is called Immy the Vegan, but we ended up cutting it. So what happened was, we've got a sales agent in LA, so we took this web series and we cut it into a feature length cut in order to do a cast and crew screening at the cinema. We needed one supercut, and then we had this cut and we were like, well shit, why don't we ask our sales agent if they would be interested in representing it as a feature? And so they said yes, and we ended up getting that as a feature film up on Amazon Prime and Tubi and stuff like that as well. So now we've got 3 feature films up available.
Hey, what's the feedback when you go on Amazon Prime? That's awesome. What happens? Do people start tracking you down? To you get listener comments? Do they give you statistics or analytics? What happens after that? You just get a check and that's the end of it.
We just get a report, a quarterly report. So we get quarterly reports from our sales agent, basically, that tells us how much our film has made. And we do get a bunch of reviews, and people do look us up, which is really super cool.
That's cool.
Obviously it makes you it's one of those little moments where you're like, hey, it's all worth it, actually.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the time you're like, oh, I'm making these movies for no money for years on end, and working on all of this stuff, slaving away, and then every now and then someone messages you and go, hey, I watched your movie and I really liked it. Well done. And you go, it's all worth it.
That's nice. I like that. What's the biggest thing you've lost by pursuing this filmmaking, producer actory career? What have you lost out of this whole thing?
Well, I would say that, I definitely feel like I've put my relationships on the, I've made them somewhat secondary, more like any relationship. I'm like, how's it going to fit in with my filmmaking career? And if they're kind of a 9-to-5 pleb, I'm a bit like, yeah. So I do feel like that's perhaps kind of affected my, I do feel like that's probably affected my relationships. And then also just, the idea that it's like, I want to kind of achieve first as a creative person and then settle down and, whatever, have kids and get married and this type of thing. And so the problem is that if you keep trying, but you never actually achieve, then you're always just kind of putting off the kids and the marriage and the mortgage and all of that type of stuff. And you're just stuck in Neverland. Filmmaking Neverland. So
what are the steps that you're wanting to take in order to kind of justify to yourself that you've achieved what you were wanting to achieve before you get to that stage?
The music in my ears, can we take that out?
Yeah, sure.
Or is that shit? Sweet. Sorry, what was the question? Say it again, sorry.
What is the threshold, I suppose, that you have for yourself? What is it that would give you that
so
pinpoint?
My goal, right, is to make creative content full time and make a living out of it. And that's really it. I mean, I'm not aiming for jacuzzis and mansions, I'm just aiming for like sustainability. I just want to be able to make a living making content. That sounds like a great life to me. I decide when I'm going to work because I've got enough money, because I've got all these other projects which are have this passive income building up in the background, and then I can be like, cool, what are we working on next? What's the next big thing that, I want to do or we want to do? And so, yeah, really, I mean, I guess it's freedom, right? It's the same thing that probably everybody wants, right? You want that freedom, but I want freedom from creating art. I want to freedom for myself from the industry of creating art. So, yeah, I'd say that's about where I'll say, hey, I'm a complete success now. Once I start getting enough money from, say, YouTube and my movies and my podcast and all that to kind of just live that life.
And is it something that you feel like you can do from New Zealand, or do you feel like, oh man, once this is all done and dusted, I'm out of here. I'm going to go to LA where it's all happening,
Well, I did try to go to LA. I was going there, and I was going there with my ex who had to move there, and my intention was to go, and I went over and I got a manager, which was part of my visa application. I was applying for an O1 visa, which is the Alien of Extraordinary Ability visa, and I had to have, for example, a manager, and I had to only make a living out of the industry that I'm supposedly an exceptional alien in. So I couldn't, for example, be a waiter at night to pay for my auditions during the day or anything like that. And so yeah, I mean, I did sort of try to do that, but ultimately she went without me, and I ended up staying in New Zealand. But I don't know, I'm not in too much of a hurry, especially in this kind of post-COVID world, to like rush off to LA. I kind of feel like there's actually quite a lot of opportunities in New Zealand, and there's also, nowadays with the internet and the metaverse on its way, you can make a living anywhere in the world. I think, doing this stuff, it's really just about finding that audience.
Relationship in badly with the one that's in LA?
No, it was pretty good actually. I haven't really had any bad relationships, as far as I'm concerned. I'm still Facebook friends with all of them, so I must be doing something right. No, it was very amicable, really. It was a big part of it was distance, obviously, because she's over there, got a brand new life, and we're sort of so far apart. So, it does make sense, and perhaps it was a little bit unrealistic anyway to have this dream that I might move to LA and be able to make enough money, just from performing and from working within the creative industries. So, it is what it is. You'll never know, right?
Yeah, who always got it good? I think Larry David. Like writer. He had the success of Seinfeld, which I don't know if that can be replicated. He's made his money in reruns now. He takes on he's got his own TV show, which is in how many seasons?
Part about him, though, is that he like the best part about him is that he's able to achieve all of that, but be extremely nonchalantly irritated about everything, and people just have to accept it. And I love that. Like, I wouldn't want to be that irritated and like annoyed by everything, because it would be a terrible way to live. But imagine being able to having the freedom to just be like, this is just, I don't care, I hate it all, and everyone's like, yes, more. We love this about you.
Yeah.
What a way to make a living, just by being completely unenthused.
Well, that sounds like a dream, if you ask me.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, everything's going your way, right? I mean, it's all gone filmmaker and visual content way, with all the streaming platforms at the moment. New Zealand On Air giving money to online stuff, TVNZ supporting it on demand, Discovery coming in and kicking in some tin to make some stuff happen. There's a lot of opportunities out there for you.
Yeah, I do think you're right, and it's merely it's really a matter of finding the time of day to chase them all, and to do the hard yards and create the actual content and find the money and all of these types of things, while also trying to have an actual life as well, and all your normal kind of day-to-day things that you have to do. But yeah, I do think that there's a world of opportunity out there, because of the internet and because of streaming and because of all of this stuff. It's really made it that anybody, I think anybody can kind of be a star from their bedroom. They've just got to figure out what their angle is, figure out how to appeal to an audience. And I guess that's kind of the hard bit, right?
Do you think that's eroding the industry, though, of film and television, where budgets are being reduced because they're seeing people be able to produce content with so much less. Do you know what I mean? Does that make any sense? And so the
Yeah,
value, it's almost like we devalue the entire thing by making it so easy to, it's so easy to create this content. Well, is it really though? Like, as you say, it takes quite a lot of time. It takes quite a lot of effort, planning, and all of those things. And, on a set, obviously, you'd have people who are extremely skilled at doing certain things. You've got wardrobe, you've got lights, you've got sound, and all that sort of stuff. And are we eroding that industry though?
I think that's probably just what progress looks like. Really, you can't you can't stop it, right? So as the technology gets more affordable and everything becomes more accessible, I don't really know how they could sort of stop it. I think it's just the way it is, really. But the truth is that having money obviously makes it a lot quicker and a lot easier. Our films take a long time because basically we're getting people to do all the post-production for favors.
Right.
And so they're kind of working on their own schedules. And so it does still take us a really long time. But those big budgets, it doesn't really affect me because those big budgets, I've never received them. The biggest budget we had was I Survived a Zombie Holocaust was $250,000, which is a lot of money to me, but it's not really very much money to make a feature film. So we got there, and it's out there, and I do encourage people to go and check it out if they get the chance. I Survived a Zombie Holocaust. It's on iTunes and Amazon Prime and Tubi and a number of other places. You just check it out.
Are you an easy person to buy presents for? I mean, do your parents go, "Oh, let's get him a director's chair for his birthday"? Oh, get him one of those clapper things from the novelty shop.
Well, I'm not actually a director myself. I do direct little bits and pieces, but I certainly don't need a director's chair. But yes, I am easy to buy for, because if you're ever unsure, just buy me a bottle of wine, just buy me a bottle of booze or something. I'm super easy to shop for. I'm also quite a good communicator. So if anybody out there wants to buy me something, just ask me what I need and I'll tell you. But yeah, I think I'm pretty easy. I guess we'll see, right? At Christmas time, if I get a bunch of crap presents, I'll be like, I guess I'm quite hard to buy for.
Yeah. When I was trying to get into radio years ago, and then I was just obsessed with radio and all that kind of stuff. And then my family, like, "You still bouncing around this radio thing, are you?" All that kind of thing. And any kind of, "We bought you a couple of cassette tapes," or "Here's a dumb microphone from," they'd always give you, "Here's some headphones." But anyways.
I actually work in radio as well. Little known fact. So I've got kind of two careers, right? I'm a film maker. I make films with my bestie, and under that umbrella fits kind of all of my producing stuff. So I work making these movies, acting and things. I count as all part of this filmmaking stuff. I also work for New Zealand's biggest and best short film festival. It's called Show Me Shorts Film Festival. I've been working for them for quite a few years as well. And so that all kind of fits under the producing umbrella. But the other side of my career, that is the one that actually makes me most of the money, is I work in live broadcasting. So it's mostly live broadcast TV. And I just came back from Tokyo for the Olympics recently, where I put graphics on the Olympics, and but I also work in radio as a technical producer. So I'm not sure what you would call that, Thane. You might call it a panel op, maybe, but I would call it a technical producer. So sitting there, fading up, calling guests, answering phones, that type of thing.
Well, just like Magic Talk or something. TP.
I've done it on TP. So I've done it on a few different networks, mostly sports related networks. Okay. But I'm a freelancer, so I kind of work for everybody.
That's cool.
Yeah. So if you need any TPs in the radio thing, I'm available. I'm just saying.
Absolutely. I remember I had a job. I was working at a lousy South Auckland radio station. It was like Counties Manukau radio or something.
Won't name names.
And then I got my big break by being on I-98 FM right after Love Songs Till Midnight back in the 90s. And I remember they just asking me, "Do you know how to panel op?" And I wouldn't have a clue how to panel operate anything. And I was like, "Yeah, sure I do. Yeah. Right. It's easy, man." 2 thumbs up. I can do this.
Yeah.
And I remember on the night I started, I just came in 2 hours early and watched the guy. And then it's kind of like, how hard can it be? Really.
That's the trick.
Yep.
I reckon that's the trick with life, right? Is just say yes, and then figure it out.
Absolutely.
And oftentimes I'll look at people that are doing jobs and I'll say, well, look, if they can do it, if they can figure it out, I can probably figure it out. I just need to be shown it. I just need to, wrap my head around it. So yeah, it's a good attitude if you ask me. Say yes and then figure it out later. What could go wrong?
Jump and build wings on the way down, I like to say.
Yeah, that's true. That makes sense.
It is one of my favorite little things to see as well, as people who I find, and this could come across as really negative and awful thing to say, but I like to see people that I think are stupid and that have done really well, and I go, okay, if that dum can do that, I mean, this is going to be easy. Let's do this. It's just nice to see someone who you go, I feel like I'm smarter than that person.
You know what?
No, exactly.
I reckon that's a great use of the word dum-dum too. It's such a throwback, isn't it?
Dum-dum, especially in like a serious argument, particularly with you, actually, Thane. Like if you say, I'm like, whatever, dum-dum, like, and you're just floored. Like there's no comeback from that. What are you going to say? No. I'm not a dum-dum. Like, really?
Well, you sound like a dum-dum.
You big dum-dum. It's just, it's a fantastic, horrible thing to say to somebody that, no one should say. Don't encourage.
Joe Ford's got a message here. Do you have Christmas decorations up? Well, let's go around the room, everybody. Harley first.
I have actually just bought my very first Christmas tree. Actual Christmas tree. I don't think I've ever bought a Christmas tree at all, but I remember, my mum would get us a real Christmas tree sometimes. So, it's not my first experience of a real Christmas tree, but it's the first time as an adult that I've actually gone out and paid for a Christmas tree. So I've gone out, I've paid for my first Christmas tree. It's currently not exactly decorated. It's got a few lights on it, but I'm a conscientious consumer, you see. So I'm doing my best to not buy plastic, junk to throw on it. So basically I only want to get kind of like paper decorations and something a bit more biodegradable. And so yeah, it's a little bit underdressed at the moment, but that's all going to change tomorrow.
Boy, she's tricky to be conscious at Christmas, isn't it? Especially with these decorations.
It's tricky. I'll tell you a little Snoopy secret I saw today, and I thought that is a beautiful way to decorate a tree. Someone had bought, those stems of orchids, and they hang down, but then there's a stem at the end. So you get a bunch of those, and they have a little water capsule thing on the bottom, and you actually just place it inside the tree. So it's just beautiful flowers that will obviously decay, and it's not wasteful.
All right, okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
I was expecting someone to be more impressed. I mean, if you see the photo, you'll be like, whoa. They're amazing.
Well, I mean, how conscientious what do you want to get? I mean, because you could get a whole lot of snails to run them up. They could leave a nice silvery trail throughout.
What you could do though is you could pick up rubbish from the beach and then put that on.
Yeah. Hey, that's actually a good Instagram project. You could do that, right? Take your beautiful tree and then go get some rubbish, some litter, and use the litter to decorate the tree, especially if you use like Coca-Cola plastic bottles. Plastic bottles, because that'll go completely viral with the whole Coke and Christmas.
Or maybe we could put a turtle with a plastic straw in its nose on the top.
Yeah. As long as it's a real turtle.
Yeah, must be real and still dying, like in the process,
Yeah.
That's gonna go viral.
Jamie Oxley says, "Hello, Harley. I started listening to your 9-hour podcast."
Yeah. Yeah, don't listen to that one. That one's a waste of time. It was 9 hours, and my co-creator and I had I guess a disagreement on air, which happens. Like I mentioned earlier, it does happen. So every year or so, we'll have a big blow up on air about, which way we think the business should be going and how we should be operating. And basically we just kind of get it all out. And then normally what happens is afterwards, the next episode's normally quite a good one. And that formula was true this time. We had a couple episodes back, terrible. Don't recommend anybody goes and listens to it. And then the new episode was great. The new episode was really, it was really fun, and we kind of we got it all off our chest in the previous episode. So I mean, it was literally a 9.5 hour show, and it was basically 1 hour of good show and 8.5 hours of us screaming at each other. So
it could be entertaining though.
It could be. People watch it it's actually got better view time than our other episodes, and it's because people like watching this kind of train wreck, like reality TV bullshit. So it's sort of I can see why they watched it. And
by you saying don't watch it, people want to watch it.
Yeah. Well, our show is called The Guy and Harley Podcast. So if anybody wants to go and check it out, The Guy and Harley Podcast. It's on all your favorite platforms. It's on YouTube and Spotify and iTunes and Twitch and Facebook and all the rest of the places. So I'm actually restreaming this very episode out onto my channel as well.
Oh, sweet. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Joe Ford, a good idea is to get decorations from a second-hand shop.
That is a good idea.
Good call.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or invest in some decorations and keep them. That's what I've done. I have a Christmas box, and it goes out, it goes back in. Everything has its own space for each bauble. I'm really showing my control freak colors here, but there's a little place for everything, and then it gets tucked back in its box. Lid goes on, pop it away in the garage. Comes out every year. No waste.
Harley's just got his first Christmas tree. I mean, you've got a lot of Christmas experience under your belt.
Yes, that's
You're
true.
like an old master.
I am. I can impart some of my skills to you, Harley.
My problem was I didn't want to have a Christmas box. I was like, if I have a bunch of plasticky stuff in my Christmas box, then I'm stuck with this Christmas box, which I only use once a year, So I was like, no.
You only use a Christmas tree once a year as well. Why don't you just get nothing?
Well, I do normally get nothing. That's the thing. So
what's happening? What's the difference here? I mean, you sound like the Grinch. What's happening?
Well,
You tell I love Christmas. I am a Christmas lover, so I've got my back up about this situation here. I can't believe it.
I do like Christmas. I just want somebody else to handle all of the decorating.
It's laziness.
But laziness.
Okay.
Lack of enthusiasm, perhaps. But I do like.
You need a wife. I'm not trying to put gender roles on anybody, but I fucking love Christmas and I love decorating that tree.
Okay.
And then when you have kids, you get to experience them putting all your stuff on wrong.
Yeah.
And then you have to go and redo it in the nighttime. But you
do. We come from a long line of Christmas. People are totally up for it. Even at birthdays, right? When anyone in our family has a birthday, they wake up to those destroy the environment balloons with their age on it, and a whole lot of balloons on the floor, and then their choice of breakfast. That's how the day starts off, and everyone loves it.
I used to, when the kids were little, cover them in the balloons, and it was an immersive experience. As they awoke, it was like, what is that? It's
that's a good idea. I bet that was very special for them. I bet that's something they will remember.
They do, and you know what? Because they enjoyed it so much, now everyone has to have it. So even adult, big or small, you have to have your balloons. It's a real thing. It's like it's your birthday. That's what you get. So it's quite special. And Christmas is the same. But as you do have children, then they start to bring home lovely homemade hanging decorations and things and wreaths from kindy. So really, all in all, you start to build this box without having to buy any cheap, crappy plastic as well.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm doing I've been invited on Saturday to perform at to perform poetry at a climate related event, and the event I would plug it, but they haven't actually sent me the link yet. But it's an event, and it's kind of about carbon emissions and Christmas and how to kind of have a more environmentally friendly Christmas. It's not my event. I just got asked to go and do poetry at it. And so it's kind of a bad time for me to be buying plastic stuff to put on the tree, because then I'll be a total hypocrite. Yelling at people via poetry, the medium of poetry, over the internet about how they shouldn't buy plasticky things. That's happening on Saturday. This Saturday.
Maybe you don't buy it; it's just gifted to you.
So no, I did think I did think if somebody gave this stuff to me, well, I would happily put it on my tree.
Well, that's nice. It's a good idea, isn't it? Fantastic.
Joe Ford said the sound is gone. Is it okay?
I can hear everybody here fine. You can hear me?
Hopefully my sounds. I did take off my
everybody.
Yeah. Anyways, our plans for tomorrow, everybody,
Yeah.
because it is Freedom Day for Aucklanders. Harley, are you in Auckland?
I am indeed. Yep.
Okay. Are you going out for dinner or something nice?
No, I hadn't planned on it. Tomorrow I've got my my yoga class at 5:30 p.m. and then I've got my my Christmas tree decorating afterwards. And that's really about the extent of my my Freedom Day plans. Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest. I'm so boring, aren't I? Got no exciting plans for anything for Big Freedom Day. Whoops.
You hate Christmas.
I hate Christmas. I hate Freedom Day.
Yeah.
You talk for hours, for God's sake.
I don't hate Christmas, and I do like Freedom Day, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the economy. I'm excited to get out again, and I am kind of hoping, obviously, to get back to a kind of some sort of semblance of normality. I've been in this lockdown the same amount of time as everybody else, obviously, but before this lockdown began, I did 2 weeks of isolation, of MIQ isolation. So halfway through the MIQ isolation, this lockdown began. So I was already in isolation for, a week and a bit, and then the lockdown began. And then before that, I was in Japan and I was kind of in lockdown, and then for 2 weeks or more. So this has been the longest, well, for me, a very long lockdown.
What's Japan like?
It was very cool. It was, I mean, to be honest, I didn't get the chance to explore it in the way you would really want to, because obviously at the time they had a big COVID, like they had declared a national emergency at the time of the Olympics, and they were getting something like 5,000 cases a day in Tokyo. And so obviously I was kept generally quite separate from the population. I basically saw Japan, I witnessed Japan through a window. So I saw it through my hotel window, I saw it through bus windows, and I saw it through the compound that I worked in, but I wasn't out. Sorry, yeah, very annoying. It was quite frustrating. You go all that way.
You want to get out there and see it.
I did get a few days though. I got one beach day and one shopping day in Tokyo, but the first 10 days or 14 days that I was there or something, I was not allowed to go out, and be with people that weren't within my work bubble. So I wasn't allowed to go shopping. And so yeah, but I did really enjoy it, and I'd love to go back in a more kind of normal time. Because at one point I found myself in a karaoke bar that was not meant to be open, because everything was supposed to be closed, but it was apparently it was a Yakuza owned bar.
Okay, yeah.
So it was a gang owned bar, so they could just be open
like,
anyway.
I think we'll just keep the karaoke going, guys.
Yeah.
If anyone comes in and tries to fuck with the microphone, just kill them, okay?
Yeah.
They take it very seriously over there. The karaoke is like number one.
Yeah. Well,
Japan's like that movie that Bill Murray's in, he's an actor and he does
I know the one you mean.
With that chick, and they're staying in a hotel and they go out every night.
Yeah, I know exactly the one you mean. It almost came to my head, but I can't quite remember the name either. But yes, I do know exactly the one you mean. Well, so I found myself in this Yakuza bar, but it was had a very low ceiling, and everyone was singing into the microphones, and even I sang into the microphone, and I just knew that microphone was just covered in COVID, and there was like one bathroom. And it was this low ceilings, everyone breathing on each other, and it was super loud. So everyone would kind of yell into your ear and breathe all over your face, And I was like, okay, well, I don't know if I can say that word, but screw it, I'm out. And so I left that bar quite quickly.
Yeah. So that feels like a fair enough scenario. It was Lost in Translation as the movie, isn't it?
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah.
Joe Ford's wife is apparently Japanese. That's fantastic. Good on
God,
you,
I love ramen. I just love ramen so much. I have
Sophia,
so much respect for ramen.
You're going to be very upset at me because I went to a ramen place in Japan, an authentic ramen place in Japan, and I didn't order ramen, and I still have not to this day tried ramen.
I need to leave.
Yeah. So he hates Christmas. He hates ramen. Yeah. What else?
What? I can't believe we're interviewing this guy right now.
Who is this bum?
I'm not a fan of ramen either, to be honest.
Well, I might
Oh.
be. I didn't try it. I forgot.
Harley doesn't know yet if he likes decorations on the tree or ramen, okay? He's still hanging in the balance.
Yeah.
Thane is a lost cause.
Yeah.
He doesn't like ramen. It's too brothy for you, isn't it?
Too fishy. I absolutely love ramen, says Joe Ford. I went to an
Yes.
authentic ramen place and ordered the best ramen ever.
I
had
the way
one
you call
ramen
most
and it was
best.
yuck, and I thought, this is disgusting.
No,
I'm never
come
having
on now.
ramen again.
Yummy. Hey Joe, what's the best ramen in Auckland if you're in Auckland? Give us the good.
scoop.
You know what I like to watch, and it's the chef's table.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's like if I'm having a bad day, chef's table. I'm going to go and pick up some yummy food stuff. I'm going to put that on. I'm going to cook. I'm going to pretend that I live in Italy. It's going to be a good time. But one of the best ones on there is the ramen guy, and I can't remember his name. I'll Google it and I'll say it before we go. But it was a good chat, wasn't it, Thane?
Was
This
good
guy,
chat.
yeah, he has an
You
incredible
always
life
come back to
story.
that episode as well. You come back to that episode and you come back to the guy who makes the cheese. The guy's cheese.
Massimo. I love
Massimo.
Massimo. He is the most gorgeous human being. He is so fun. He just looks like a fun person to hang out with. Do you know who I'm talking about here, Harley?
Who is he? Sorry, say it again.
Massimo Bottura, I think is his name, or could be Bottura. And he is an Italian chef, and he's very cute and has a lot of energy.
He's not the Salt Bay.
No, he's far more like dynamic and Italian and like someone you'd want to actually have a conversation with rather than Salt Bay, who's like, he's more like an earthy, salt of the land kind of that's not a saying, you know.
Salt Bay. Unbelievable.
Yeah, that seems a bit intense, doesn't it?
Yeah. I
Ramen.
can't believe you've been doing a podcast like, what did you say, 10 years or 6 years?
No, 6 years. But we've been making movies for 20 years or so, or a little bit more. So 6 years on the podcast. And if people are listening and enjoying this banter, then do please go and check out the Guy and Harley podcast.
We're not there, but he is. So.
We're not there, but he is. What, 6 years?
On the podcast.
No, sorry, yes.
Hey, what was the first camera you were using? Were you guys using video cameras? I was using an M7 back in the day from Panasonic, running a VHS, and I bumped up to Super VHS when I thought I was going to be a filmmaker.
Yeah. Well, it was a Hi8 something. I don't remember the exact brand or what it was. My co-creator, we used to do a milk run together, and he saved up his milk run money and purchased a camera and a Hi8 tape camera, and that was what we shot our first film on. And it was a zombie film in a graveyard next to our school in Dunedin, because we were walking home from detention one day because we no doubt being punished for some daring political stunt, and we were walking through this graveyard near our school, and my co-creator Guy Pigden said, hey, this would be a cool place to shoot a zombie film. And then he wrote a zombie film, and he went out and bought this camera, and that was really the birth of it all. And that was where we began. So it was a Hi8 tape camera, and the films were edited on 2 VCRs. So the old play, record, stop, play, record, stop. It was all analog editing on 2 VCRs. It was technology has changed a lot. I do envy this kind of new generation of filmmakers, because if there's anything you don't know, you just Google it. You don't have to learn that stuff manually. You just go to YouTube and find it. You don't need to figure that stuff out. You don't need to have 2 VCRs and figure it out. And so, I feel like film and content creation is going in these big leaps and bounds, advancing, and it's because of all of this communal information that's available via YouTube and these other mediums. And so I'm kind of envious, basically, because I feel like if we had that technology available when we were 16, then actually probably we'd be rich and famous by now, but we're pioneers instead.
That's it, and there's still time. Time.
I'm producing a short film at the moment, and it's all in Mandarin. So
wow.
Yeah, so it's a short film being shot in January, and it's for a Mandarin speaking director who's written a story. The cast is all in Mandarin. Sorry, the cast are all Chinese speaking Mandarin. and so as a result, I'm finding a Mandarin speaking crew because the director and the director of photography are already going to be speaking Mandarin, and the cast are already going to be speaking Mandarin. So it makes sense to get as many Mandarin speakers as possible for the, efficiency. And so yeah, I'm making that. That's one of my jobs at the moment, is I've got to find these various actors. For example, I need about there's a kid character who's sort of 8 to 12 years old who speaks Mandarin. So I'm looking for a Mandarin speaking, kid who can act. And that's actually quite tough. You got one?
Yeah. She's
okay.
not fluent, but Lola, our daughter, is learning Mandarin. How much Mandarin does she need?
Well, she would need a wee bit. She would need a wee bit because she gets in an argument with her dad in it. So, but hey, we can talk.
I actually think she could do that. We'll talk off air. She's a fantastic little actress. She's pretty funny. Yeah, and she loves the Duolingo. She's been learning it.
Yeah. Well, I know a small amount of Mandarin. Do you mind if I go ahead and give that to you right now?
Please.
Okay, here you go. 我第一次见到你，我就爱上你了。我想永远和你在一起。Sophia, 你愿意嫁给我吗？
That is so impressive.
Wow.
Lola comes out with one. She's like, "Wow, or something rather," and then as the answer, our 4-year-old goes, "Nina."
What did you just, Harley? What did you say? What was that?
So it was a script that I learned for an ad for a. It's called a spec ad. So it's not a real ad. It's an ad being made by an enthusiast, an aspiring, director. And so he's kind of made his own ad, and it's for a Duolingo type product, and it's coming out soon. He's going to release it. He's pitching it to these apps and seeing if they're interested, but if they're not, then he's going to release it on YouTube or wherever. And so I had to learn that dialogue for my my role in that as a guy who's learning Mandarin in order to propose to his partner, his Mandarin speaking partner. And so I said, since the day I met you, I knew I wanted to be with you forever. One other thing, can't quite remember what that is right now, but from the moment I saw you, I knew I wanted to be with you forever. Sophia, will you marry me?
I just got proposed to for the first time in my life. Look at that.
Yes. There was one extra bit. There was something else in there, but yes. So that was what I learned.
Fantastic.
It's awesome. An important language to learn, I think, though, because there is, there's a lot of opportunity. And I always say that to Lola, like, you're going to have an advantage. And, a lot of people learn, a lot of different languages, and the Romance languages are really popular. But I think that there's something to be said for learning a language with a country that is so dominant. And is only becoming more and more dominant, that it's a good idea.
Makes sense.
Yeah, totally.
Makes sense. I'm hoping to find work with Chinese filmmakers. That's kind of what I'm aiming for a little bit here. I'm thinking of maybe I can kind of, break into that market a little bit, and maybe I can be the white guy who speaks a small amount of Mandarin, as long as it's a script, a short enough script,
Totally.
So yeah, well, you
a
never
little
know.
Niche. Have you ever heard anyone say niche but then call it a niche?
I believe I have, yes, and it makes me question myself, because I go, wait a minute, am I saying it wrong? Should I be saying niche audience?
I just had that moment and I was like, I'm going to have to talk about it, because then if I am wrong, I look like I'm open to, having a conversation with myself about it. But otherwise, I'm just exposing everyone else as, you don't say it like that. I'm right. Hopefully I'm right. I like
to find your niche.
You're just going to
awful, isn't it?
It's not. I think there's maybe an American thing where they maybe call it niche. But
what are you watching on the streaming platforms? Anything interesting? Are you watching Succession? Are you watching Yellowstone? Are you watching
The Great?
The Great.
I'm watching Narcos Mexico season 3 currently, and I just finished the 9/11 documentary as well, the one that came out for the anniversary. And those are about it at the moment. but there's lots of great stuff out there on the old Netflix. The
I love
Unabomber
it.
Manifesto, the Unabomber in his own words. I quite liked that one.
Oh, that
Yeah.
sounds scary.
Yeah,
Um,
I know.
Joe, Thane is going to R&B. I think we're both going to go next year, aren't we, Thane?
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Devastating
But
news about that, eh?
R&B is off.
Yeah, I thought it was not. Is it happening or is it not happening?
Not happening.
It's
No.
not happening because the locals don't want it.
No, because I think they're not up to 90%.
Ah, yeah,
Yeah, awkward.
yeah.
Well, mate, hey, thank you very much for joining us. It's been a
pleasure.
real pleasure talking to you. I've enjoyed it. And keep up the fight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
I look forward to seeing your Christmas tree. I
Yeah.
believe
All right.
in you.
Well,
You can
look,
do it.
if people would like to see what I'm doing, please do check out the Guy and Harley podcast, facebook.com/Guy and Harley, or youtube.com. Search for the Guy and Harley podcast. The main name I make films under is Pigville Productions, and so that's our main YouTube channel is Pigville, Pigville. That's the keyword, and that's Harley Neville and Guy Pigden. So Pigden, Neville, Pigville. We came up with it when we were 16.
Cool.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for joining us. It's been
That's
a great
a pleasure.
chat. And
Thanks for having
enjoy
me.
your evening.
Mhm.
And we'll chat to you again soon.
Thanks,
Sounds
mate.
good.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Harley Neville, everybody. Oh, very interesting. Good chat.
Very good chat. Joe, can I please join you both? We are about to head off. Do we have time, Thane?
I think we do.
This?
Just
Let's do
Joe,
it. Let's
Ford,
try.
just click on that little link, buddy boy, that's in the comments section, and come and join us. No
Jump
problem.
on. So he was saying that there's an authentic ramen place in the IMAX Centre, which is like Aotea Square. You know, when you go in and there's that little rocket ship up and down to the movies.
Yes.
And I know that one, and I hope that it's still there because I am going to. Oh, he wants to join us at R&V, not on the show. That makes sense. Yeah, probably
Hey,
not.
Next week, everybody, I'm going to try and come to you live from Chapel Bar and Bistro.
Ooh,
So
you're not going to try and do that, are you?
yeah,
On a Sunday?
I mean, we're free. Oh, not Sunday. No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
Like maybe a Wednesday or a Thursday night next week. Now
That
we
sounds
can take the show on the road. This is going to be a very interesting proposition.
Why are
For
you
free
still
stuff.
itching? You're still itching.
Yeah, man.
You need some more relief.
It's itching everywhere. We've got dermatitis.
Joe's
and
going to join us
agave.
next week. Yay. Thanks, Joe. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hey, Benny.
Hey, guys.
What's that?
Great show, guys. Rated its tits off.
Great.
You've done it again. Old mate Neville's done it again. Incredible life story. How's the skin feeling there, bud?
Yeah, I'm still not the best. Still very itchy.
Yeah.
But I'm
From the
getting there,
agave.
man. Yeah, the agave. It's a succulent, but just beware the juice from the agave will break out. You'll break out in a rash, and you get dermatitis.
You need like a giant
Christ.
gloves for dishwashing.
Well, you do. You need a long sleeve. You need gloves.
Like those ones for vets.
Well, what you do at that stage is that's the point when you delegate the work.
Yeah. Oh,
What happened to all your books?
The green screen was running really slow. I'm going to get feedback to the developers. They're doing a shit job at their end.
Yeah.
We were trying to read some books for damn sake.
I was trying to get out. I was trying to, look up a freaking information on the Dewey Decimal System, and I couldn't find the right.
I haven't heard that for like 20 years. The Dewey Decimal System.
Well, look, it's sort of like that was the thing that they used at primary school to check if you had any sort of mental cognizance or whether you're full blown sort of put him in the special learning portion of the school. Hold him back. Hold this one back. He doesn't understand referencing books, finding information on the Dewey Decimal System. That's how you weed out basically the sort of mongs from the capable student.
Avoid from the men. It's the Dewey Decimal System. Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, and when you think about it, humans now are a little bit like the Dewey Decimal System. We've all been assigned a sort of a digital number. We've got this digital global ID now, don't we, guys? So we're all accountable. So be careful what you think. You guys thought some crazy shit in the last hour, and I'd hate to think what the thought cops have to say about half of that stuff.
Yeah, well, me too. You and me both, Jenny Mack. Hi, Zarek.
Don't worry, I've been taking notes. I'll be handing it into the government, that's for sure. But just
now, when are we going to go over and see Harley's Christmas tree? You mentioned you wanted to see it.
In a picture.
Okay, right.
Guys, have you guys heard about Podcast?
What is Bomber saying? After 10, it gets a little bit blue.
Yeah, that's a quote. That's a quote about the Late Show. Like, this is the time of night where people start to tune out. They think the show's over because you guys aren't excited enough about the next show, because you're not viewers, frankly, because you're not fans, you're not viewers, you're not actually part of the late night.
You're not on it. We're just really selfish and self-serving. And
selfish, lazy, not willing to do the double timing the mahi, you see?
No, we're not on it, so have fun.
That's irrelevant.
Good luck, mate.
Hey, you know what? One week we should do this, guys. We should do a show swap.
Why are your eyes closed again?
Go first, we should go last, maybe for 1 week.
Hey, how come Bomber's? Is that comment?
It's just a quote from Bomber. That's all.
Oh, right.
That would be cool. That's a cool idea, Thane, actually. That would be a wild idea and a mad experiment. Yeah, because our show sort of flies by the seat of its pants. Do you like how I said that?
Yeah, I like that. Oh, well, enjoy your pants and all your feet. That's pretty much us tonight. We're back tomorrow.
Go close his other eye and get some rest.
I think he might have got it's weird. It's bad enough getting fluid in your eye, let alone agave.
Every show, they close a little bit more.
Santa.
Talking about gender fluid, you just got a little bit of something in your eye.
Oh, God. All right, well, let's get this shit out of here. Have a great show, mate, and we'll see you tomorrow from 10 o'clock. Thank you.
We've got some crazy shit to talk about tonight. We got angry Maoris up north.
Fantastic. Enjoy those. See you soon.
Bye.
I tell you, those two put on one hell of a show. Damn near every night of the week. They are most certainly a very dynamic duo. That was Talkback with Thane and Sophia. I'm just about to switch up the music here into a little bit of future pop. All right, welcome on board, everyone. We're going to reset the show. We are going to reset the show, bring the graphics off the screen, and roll the intro, because we are rolling into a incredible broadcast here. It is Thursday night. It is 10 p.m. on the dot. We have got you in the damn chat. We are starting to actually bring the energy back up, because those two look like they had been shot with some sort of sedative. That has not happened to us. We are we're energized. We are energized in a whole new way. I wish you'd get energized with me too. We're going to do it here. We're going to do it tonight. We are going to make all your dreams come true right here on Talking Smack with Benny Mack. Okay, we are live, and we have got our producer here, / intern, Selena Spain. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Do you copy me? Are you on the line there? Ooh, I can't hear you. Let's do another audio check. Have you got audio bars there? Hey, we are gonna have the tech team working on that. Are you with us? Can I hear you? Can you hear me? Let's do a sound check. Okay, I'm not hearing a damned thing from Selena Spain, and for that reason, I'm removing her from the stream until she conducts a audio test. Incredible stuff. The hottest muted producer ever, by the way, says Kiwi Bear Muzza in the chat. I appreciate your comment there, Kiwi Bear Muzza, and I believe that Selena Spain appreciates the kind words too. Selena Spain, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, can you bring us huge energy?
No, I was just gonna say, like, all the troubleshooting we did last night with the audio, you know,
it was great.
It was great.
We got it sorted.
I know.
Okay,
actually,
and we're starting a brand new show.
Yep, I edited it today, and it's published, and
Boom, it's published, guys. Hell of an update. We're live, beginning of the show, 3 minutes into a huge new hour, 10 live viewers across 15 different social media networks, platforms, and you can watch us basically dang near anything. We've left the screen on green tonight. You can change it what you want. When you edit this show, Selena Spain, you can go ahead and you can change the screen. It could be a thing.
I tried to add a Barbados background. Look.
Yeah. Barbados.
It won't work. It won't work. I tried to do it in the settings and restream.
Okay, that's going to be a huge problem. Tell us about Podcash. What do you know about it?
Well, obviously, like, Podcash helps me buy paper and pay for my computer, and it helps me pay people to go buy icebox of food and just get out of my way so I can write in peace.
Sounds legit. You know what? Podcast helps me by helping me win every day, and it's going to help you too. Podcast, it's a whole new thing. What does it mean? I don't know what it means, and that's why I'm going to explain it very clearly to you, the home viewer. We've just dropped a link in the chat here. It's a link in the chat. It's going to be pasted in there. Boom. What up to Youngo? What up, motherfucker? We are live on the internet. The link is linked up in the chat. Hit it up, and just get amongst it. Get in here. If you get on the show tonight, you'll go in the draw to win cash money prizes. Boom, boom, boom. We're giving them away. I'm literally going into my wallet. It's like you're literally creeping up on me, lurching up on me. Like you're the weasel sneaking up on me. I'm just trying to go about my daily business, aren't I, Selena Spain? You're literally lifting cash out of my back pocket. You're going through my wallet. You're going, what are all these receipts from? Where's this guy been spending his money? Are they going to even let him in?
I just remembered something. Has anyone been pickpocketed?
Oh, damn near. British B, have you ever been pickpocketed? Has that ever been something that's happened to you, British B? We want to hear about it. I want to know about it. Look at my head. Does it look like I've been hit with a spanner? It wasn't a spanner. It was fire. Better believe it. It's the truth. Would I lie to you?
What exactly happened? Like,
I was burning a bunch of trash. And I had an ember flying up into the sky, and it came at me, and it stuck onto my head. And Kiwi Bear Muzzer in the chat, art teacher said I can't draw. Did she mean it as in you can't draw, it's the end of the class, get the hell out, it's lunchtime? Or does she mean you can't draw as in you're crap at drawing? And because if she meant that, that was when you were a little kid, my guy. Like, you should be an adult now. You could have used all those years to learn. You shouldn't have been shut down by the man. You should believe that you can draw, you can create that art, you can use computer-aided simulations to create some sort of amazing artwork if you still genuinely are dog shit at art. So pick up the computer mouse. You can digitally paint. It's kind of like a symphony of color. Anything's art these days. You can literally shit the bed and sell it at the museum. Anyway, that's highly offensive.
Okay.
Hey, so
it's never too late to learn art. Just, like Harley was saying, just go on YouTube and learn something. You don't need to go on a course anymore, especially if you're pressed for time. Like, just go and learn online.
Innovate your learning
Drawing.
techniques
Something.
every day. Always innovate. Use new techniques. Learn from different sources. Don't always go to the traditional source, because you're just going to learn the generic dog shit. Like, it's going to be like what your teacher said. You're useless.
Exactly.
Well, I was just joking.
But it's kind of true.
Okay, but you could probably get some good inspiration from that. Put your own twist on it.
Yes.
What does that mean?
Because there shouldn't be any rules in art, really. There shouldn't be any rules, because there's...
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have thought so. There's some guidelines.
There's techniques.
Techniques,
how you play on
guidelines,
that.
suggestions.
Yeah.
That's art.
Well, someone once said to me, going on an art course ruins the artist.
It does. It trashes the artist. British B is the pickpocketer.
So I got pickpocketed in Vietnam years ago.
Wow! And what was the damage? Did they really take a stack of cash, or did you let it fly?
What's the currency in Vietnam?
Oh, it's got to be baht, isn't it?
No, that's Thailand. It's someone look it up. But anyway, I had a million. It was the only time I've held $1 million in my hand. It was Vietnamese currency. So
oh, really? You're joking?
Yeah.
You lost $1 million?
And I was like,
currency.
I was joking. It's like, oh look, I'm a millionaire before I'm 30.
Oh, you got wrecked.
Holding this currency. But anyway, went out for a walk in the evening.
Okay.
With my camera back in the day.
Out of control.
Used to use,
camera.
Yeah, a little digital camera, Sony, I think.
Gotcha.
And
you got picketed.
And I had cash. I'm telling you, cash as well.
Ooh.
100, whatever their currency was.
A fat stack of cash. What did it equate to in Kiwi currency? Just out of interest.
Just one sec. I'll just look it up. Vietnamese.
Okay, so it was 1 million Vietnamese notes. It might have been $400. Sounds like a bunch of cash.
It was 100 Vietnamese on the walk that I did. Yeah.
Okay, and where was it at? Was it at the beach? Was it in the town? Was it at night time?
At night.
At night time. Okay, and had you been drinking? Were you drinking?
Well, on that occasion, probably not. But
no. Okay, you weren't drinking, but had you been taking some photos?
Well, just walking through the square. The cash. I'm pretty sure the cash was in a little bag.
A little baggie.
And the camera, it was.
Did they get the camera too?
They got the camera and the money, and
without you realizing.
Very weird. Very weird. I just got this eerie feeling.
Right.
I looked at this guy. Looked at this guy in the eyes. Yeah. We had this spooky ass look, and I just gave him this killer look. Like I knew that they were working in a team. It was just so weird. Very
concerning.
Very unpredictable. And I've spoken to 2 other people since then. After I shared my experience, and happened to me too. I got
very common.
Cash taken out of the front pocket of my jeans. Like, how the hell does that happen? They're professional. So I was a little bit bummed out, but anyway, there were just better experiences on that trip.
Yeah, quite righteously, and that's what it's all about. You've always got to play to the strengths, remember the good times, especially when, there are bad players out there, and they are experienced, and they are, that's basically their career. They are career thieves, pickpocketers. They work in high density areas, and they will target individuals. Selena Spain, it sounds as if you might have got snipped. You might have been given the snip.
Yeah, I might have been off guard then at that particular moment. But you know, as you travel more, you become a little bit more resilient to environments.
Yes, quite righteously. Now, were you quite at ease in that moment before you realised that you had been sort of shysted?
I know this. Well, it sounds weird, but I even had empathy for the thief.
Yes, right. Because
because I love taking photos, but I was annoyed, but I just thought maybe they'll use the money to buy food. I don't know. You just don't know how many people they have to feed, but it still sucks because they prey on tourists. They just see the tourists as a walking dollar.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's quite concerning effect of the tourism industry. And you do get places that are worse than others, but quite often in those sorts of areas, the police will actually know these individual people.
Yeah.
And it is actually quite problematic that it is proliferated in that manner. Wow. Okay, so you were actually caught up in that situation. How about anyone else in the chat? I'd really like to hear if anyone else in the chat has been shystered. I love that word, shystered. You know, that's at least we get a good word out of it. Am I right?
Yeah, you like live and learn.
Exactly, live and learn.
Yeah.
And
the better thing about that trip was we went to these war tunnels, and I'm claustrophobic, and I thought, fuck no, I'm not going crouching down because you know, like
war tunnels. I hear you.
Yeah, war tunnels. American versus Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had these little underground tunnels where it was only about half a meter, maybe.
Pretty small tunnels.
So they had the setup for tourists to experience that.
Yep.
And it was dark.
And how was your claustrophobia? You handled it. You handled yourself.
Yeah, I did it, and I was scared, but I did it. And
how much did that cost?
I can't remember, but on the way, the cab driver stopped. He stopped at this bamboo plantation, and then he stopped at this. I don't know. It was just There was also this this other hiding place for people to. They just lifted off this circle. Like the ground is flat. They just lifted off this little lid, and then someone could hide there, like straight under the ground. And then they put the lid
like
back on.
The Viet Cong could go hiding a series of interconnecting tunnels, booby traps, little people living big concepts, hiding from the forces. Oh wow, very insightful.
Yeah, so I just remember that, and I remember telling someone about it, and they didn't really seem that interested, and I just was fascinated by it.
How much was it? Did you get in?
I can't remember because it was quite a few years ago. It was probably between $20 and $30.
Not too bad, eh? You know, they might even drive you there and give a little bit of a cut to the locals. The
cabbie probably works with
gets
them.
a bit of cash.
Yeah,
not too bad. Now, did they have any specifics, like you had to wear some sort of a robe or anything, or it wasn't one of those things?
No. Oh, you had to.
Have you been to any of them, you know?
You're in a group, and another time, you were in a group.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a real cheesy tour or anything, but you were just in a group because it's easier for them to just take a group around.
Gotcha.
So also, I think there is where or somewhere near there, maybe a different location. I shot an AK-47.
Oh yeah, now you're talking.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. And how was that experience for you? Did you feel like a war criminal?
It was quite heavy. But yeah,
the recoil.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Quite a substantial recoil.
I just remember. Oh yeah, I got the library. Oh, thank you, guys. I missed the library. I was just thinking about it today.
Yeah, the live stream is slightly delayed, unfortunately. So, very disappointing. The unvaccinated will need these tips and tricks soon. The tips and tricks of the Viet Cong. and they will be 500mm underground tunnels. That's how they'll be travelling. Instead of using public transport, it'll just be underground tunnels. Oh, Selena Spain is an AK-47 girl. Ooh-wee. Kiwi Bear likes that, girls with guns. Pretty incredible stuff beginning to happen in New Zealand over the next sort of little wee while, isn't there? Over the next 2 weeks, there's going to be some significant changes occurring. And
3.5 weeks till Christmas. Today, just this evening, early evening, I was just so used to alternating between two supermarkets, basically, when I'm in this area. So I went to the St. Luke's mall, and I just thought, oh my god, there's heaps of people here. They've opened. This wasn't like this before. It was quite weird to be around people. It was because they have this supermarket downstairs, and you can come in through this tunnel from the car park, but everything else was closed. And then they opened Kmart, that was upstairs. But now it just seemed like, why? I didn't realize that more people were allowed to be there before tonight. So, and I'm not really dying to go to the mall or anything.
Well, this is it's all starting to happen, and of course, millions. Have you heard about that? Millions are being spent to reactivate economic activity and enhance well-being in Auckland. Well, what do you reckon about that, Selena Spain? Does that sound like a bit of you? A bit of a well-being enhancer?
Yeah, well, I'm all for having a healthy well-being, but with the government putting more money, it's just like, oh, we'll just throw more money into it. We're just throwing money. Yeah, and the debts, the national debt is... Oh,
well, what do you want them to do? Take more money away?
Well, no, but I mean, how are they going to pay for it? You and me are going to pay for it. All the taxpayers are going to be paying for it. Okay.
Never you mind. We've got the answers to fix the problem. Okay. The problem is that people haven't got a lot of well-being. You know, you sound like your well-being could do with a bit of a boost. Well, you know, everyone does, you know. I mean, you know.
We've been through a lot the last few months.
So, you know, throwing money at the problem, yes, it can be poo-pooed. But what if you were the one that was there sort of standing under the millions of dollars and sort of soaking it up? This could be an opportunity, you know? How about we... What they want to do is they want to activate economic activity while they want to sort of like enhance people's well-being. What does that mean? Bring people in, give them an experience, welcome them back, you know? Give them a bit of something to sort of think about in a cool way. Sort of like the experience that we do on the show, you know? So I'm thinking we're going to go out there into the community and we're going to start shouting at people in the street with megaphones. We're going to charge them a ton of cash to do it. We'll live stream the whole experience. Vouchers, you want vouchers, we're going to be giving them away. They're saying millions of dollars spent. Well, they're going to be paying us millions.
What else does it say in the article?
Well, the government is pumping... Look at this, 37.5 million this summer to promote travel around Auckland for Aucklanders in a bid to bring back the buzz that quieted when the city was put into months-long COVID-19 restrictions.
Yeah.
So that's something, you know. They're going to open up the zoo. They're going to be opening up places like that.
I love the zoo. I love the night zoo. That's really
you're going to have to apply. You're going to have to get on the website. We're going to tell you more about it right here because any individual, yes, you, Selena Spain, anyone or your family, all families, you know, with an Auckland postcode will be eligible, and Auckland residents can register interest for a voucher from 15 DEC.
So,
do you like that, DEC? Is that a good way to say this?
Something really scary just happened.
Okay, will you process that? Because today the
disgusting.
Social Development and Employment Minister Carmel Sepuloni and Economic Regional Development Minister Stewie Nash announced a reactivating Tamaki Makaurau Auckland package. Nash said the $37.5 million package had been put together together jointly with Auckland Council and Auckland Unlimited. Do you like that brand? Are you a fan of that brand? Auckland Unlimited.
Yeah, there's a church out west called Church Unlimited, and they've got stickers.
Church Unlimited.
Yeah.
I'm about that branding. They don't have any limits. I that's my sort of philosophy in life. I don't like to live with any sorts of limits, and to think that Auckland is now unlimited, it's brilliant because
it's like everyone who's been in a conservatorship is free.
I mean, they should have that on the business registry directory. Instead of registering for a limited liability company, they could have an unlimited liability company. Anyway, here we go. Classic Kiwi says billions. This is what our chat's saying. Our interactive chat, we're feeding back billions and billions and billions of to 0% accountability, 0% responsibility, 0% ownership, with 0% hospital upgraded and 100% pocket MSM circle adverts. That's mainstream media. Thank you for contributing there, KBM. And Classic Kiwi says, give us Northlanders some funding. Give us some funding.
Everyone wants funding.
Everyone wants funding. Everyone needs funding. And KBM says Wellington government is a zoo. His opinion, not mine, because I have no opinion other than we're open-minded about the facts.
Yeah. So is it sort of, what do you call it, itemized where the money is going exactly in that article?
We'll get this, okay, because the first initiative is the Explore Tamaki Makaurau, the summer voucher, and it's a discount scheme as well. So it will take a few weeks to implement. You know, we like to take a few weeks to implement these things, but it'll be well worth it. This is how politicians talk, okay? I'll do it like a politician. It'll be well worth it when it goes live, okay? Because the second initiative is the local activation program.
Yeah.
It's a contestable fund for business or community organisations to organise events that are free for the public. It'll bring help. It'll help bring neighbourhoods. Okay, this is what they reckon. It'll bring neighbourhoods and town centres back to life.
Free events
happen. Yeah, look,
free.
This is kind of it's an initiative. They're calling it the local activation program, and this is it. It's a fund. It's like, a contestable fund.
Is it music in parks? They used to do that.
It's that kind of thing. I think they'll still be doing that. I think that'll be happening through.
So you have to pay for the band, the food, the space, and parking.
Well, the thing is,
sausage sizzle, yeah, exactly.
Well, no. It's not about sort of like trying to bring out food and provide food on site. It's about saying there is food on site. There are restaurants here in this town centre that we're partying in. It's kind of like a block party. So what we could do, Thane's onto it, we could get him to organise a series of block parties.
Oh, totally.
Across Tamaki Makaurau. I'll live stream them from the broadcast vehicle. We've got all the HD cameras. We'll set it up, and then we'll broadcast it live. We'll make a big song and dance about it. We'll put the money back into advertising. We'll advertise local businesses. We'll give back. And how are we going to do that if we win the contest? Because it's contestable. It's contestable. It's selectable. It's rejectable. It's so because they might reject us, but that's cool.
So,
I'm used
to
that.
They don't want people to spend in where they are going to visit, but they're trying to bring people to spend into the cafes and restaurants, and
they want to get people to. They want to bring the town. They want to bring the town centres back to life. They want to breathe a little bit of love, a bit of that Tina Aroha vibe. Back into the world, back into the world. They want to. Is she here?
Is she here?
She's always here. She's here.
Oh, really?
Theoretically. Okay, look, we're going to just quickly check the chat here. We have got a buddy of ours, Teji25. What's up, Teji? Classic Kiwi. What up? Kiwi Bear Muzzers. Free sausage sizzles. Kiwi Bear Muzzer. Northland was ignored during the drought, ignored during the recession, ignored during hospital budgets, ignored during lockdown, ignored by Kelvin Davis. If Northland wants payouts or funding, wow, hashtag ignore it. From KBM, his opinion, not mine. And so yeah, parties, wild antics, maybe something that they'll never forget. Maybe a death-defying stunt, maybe some sort of a spectacle, some sort of something iconic, something memorable, something.
Well, something, yeah, it's historic. This has been a big year. Okay, so people need to come back together and really embrace this freedom. I mean, I don't know, are we, with all these gatherings, are we still going to have to wear masks in public?
Look, don't worry about those details. All we need to know is that we're going to turn it into one hell of a party because people are ready to party in a real way. We don't want to have people turning up thinking a whole lot of things because you're thinking the wrong damn thing. What we're going to make happen for you is we're going to bring a whole new sort of energy to the sort of pandemonium. Everybody's going to be enjoying themselves. They're going to be dancing around. They're going to be literally lifted in their seats and prancing. Because it's that time of year. Of course, it's the silly season. Why don't we all just get a little bit silly for once? God damn it.
I know. Everyone needs a bit of a release.
I mean, I think it's time. We're going to create a party in the streets. It's going to be the new normal.
I love that. Block party. Block party, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do a block party.
That's very talking smack. It's a very talking smack vibe. Block party. All welcome.
Yep, we're going to get the old ladies there. And what we're going to do is we're going to have
the cougars.
We're going to have the block bus, and what it is, it's not about partying in your own block.
Hey, Benny.
But partying in of all of the blocks.
All the cougars like you, right?
All the cougars like me, yeah, because I am, I'm attainable, but I'm also approachable, but I'm also untouchable.
Yeah.
See that how that works? Like it's they know they can't get it, and that's what makes it so damned appealing. But at the same time, if they ever had it, they wouldn't know what to do with it.
That's right.
So it's an incredible thing. But we're going to make all the ladies feel good because that's what they're there to do. And we're going to have a lot of eligible bachelors there as well. Everybody's going to be doing it. The ladies are going to be getting laid. The men are going to be slinging dick. It's going to be a great night because half of the city needs to get laid. That's for sure. We have got
there's a lot of pent up energy. Yeah.
There's a lot of blue balled males out there right now, and I can tell you, there's going to be in approximately an hour and a half, to be frank. I think.
Wow, hitting the streets. Yeah.
Are there any clubs opening tonight?
I don't know. Are there any Uber drivers working? Any Uber drivers working?
If you're an Uber driver and you're watching this, get on the line.
Yeah.
Get on the damn line.
We need an Uber driver to call in. Get some business.
Absolutely. So, I mean, this is what they're saying. They're going to try and create some sort of initiative Of course, you're going to need to require vaccination certificates and follow public health
Oh
restrictions.
yeah, I think you can print those out.
Yeah. I think it's going to be good. I mean, what about Christmas parades?
Yeah.
Bring back the Christmas parade.
Yes. You mean the Queen Street Parade?
Yeah, bring back the fucking Queen Street parade and all the ones in all the small towns as well. Okay.
Yes, I was
Small town parades.
Yes, I was in a small town Christmas parade years ago, as a child.
We're gonna make it one to remember this year, guys.
Yeah, we all used to dress up. Yeah, that was
and we're
definitely.
We're gonna party all the way through into January as well. Everyone thinks, the party's over. At New Year's, no way, guys. We're partying all summer long. Don't be scared.
I'm very
Don't be scared.
I'm very scared.
We're gonna listen. If you guys at home are scared or if things are scaring you, just put your fingers in your ears. Selena's gonna tell me something that scares her. I'm gonna listen, and then I'm gonna figure out whether we should remain spooked.
So I'm scared, to lose contact with people, over Christmas, and I just don't want to be stuck with family. That's basically how it is. So yeah, I just don't want to lose contact with people just because So we don't even know what we need to plan. What is happening with the show and yeah.
Okay, you can take your fingers out of your ears. It's nothing. Okay. So Kiwi Bear Muzza 1.7 track and trace party pack 1.7 million. Well, yeah. I mean, you never know. We could put on the best damn party this town's ever seen, and we could make it a series. And it's gonna really happen. We're gonna take it to the town. They're not gonna know what hit them. We could do it even. We're gonna live stream it, of course. It's gonna be a huge event. Everyone's gonna want to be there. Everybody from all the surrounding communities are gonna come on in because they know that we're gonna optimize. I think we should. Who wants to get involved in this? Because, Santa throwing lollies. Yeah, buddy. I'm writing it down because I think that's important. We're going to bring it back. We're going to turn this all around, guys. They're giving us a party fund, a contestable party fund. I reckon we can get a pretty good pitch together between now and then. If we set our mind to it, because it's going to be a big opportunity, guys. We're going to party like it's 1987, and and it's classic Kiwi. You get involved. You can stream snipe to your heart's content. Never a worry in the world. But what I want to do is I want to get into a little bit of news with you all. Let's just cross that. Let's just see if I can. Bear with me. I'm just getting me mouse sorted. So what do you guys think about Up North? Up North's a bit of a drama. Shane Jones, however, has slammed plans for iwi roadblocks in Te Tai Tokoro, and he says he won't be listening. Meanwhile, you've got old mate, what's his face here, old Honu, talking all kinds of nonsense once again. So, I mean, these individuals up north have had the last 2 bloody years to get the vaccine, and now they're complaining that Aucklanders want to use their tribal land. I think that's problematic. What are your thoughts, home viewers? Am I reading it wrong? Do you want to call in and have your say? What's your opinion? It is relevant. Your opinion's relevant. Do you want to get the damn out of Tamari Makaurau and go up to Te Tai Tokoro? Because is that your, is that land any less your land than it is this Hone Harawera fella's? And is our land any less his land than our bloody land? And whose land is it anyway? And to be honest, frankly, it sounds as if the Parliament could care less about what the iwi and could care less about what the iwi have to say up north. So that's fairly controversial, I'd imagine. But that's the way she goes. And what do we got here? Let's have a look-see. Shane Jones has hit out at Kiwi plans to set up roadblocks in the far north to stop visitors over the summer period. Aucklanders are allowed to leave the city from December 15th if they're fully vaccinated or test negative, but iwi leaders in Te Tai Tokoro say unvaccinated visitors pose a threat to the community. What are your thoughts? Do you think that is the case? Will you be heading up north this new year? On Wednesday, Hone Harawera told the AM show Te Tai Tokoro Border Control is planning to set up roadblocks to stop unvaccinated people from visiting. And this is what Harawera said. I think the reality is that Māori are worried, whānau are scared of what they see coming, and they don't see anything good coming. They want to know that their people are going to be protected first and foremost. And then this is not just a call from Hone Harawera and the border control or from communities. This has now reached a level where it is a general call from all of the iwi and all of the regional district health boards. This is huge. That's a level of concern that is being felt across the district. I think it's interesting, to be honest. I think it's an interesting situation to be in. The government has said, no, it's open from the 15th. On these conditions, you got to be double vaxxed, or you got to have a test within 72. What can you do? What can you do? Look, I do understand there is a slight audio delay. It's the new green screen feature that they're debuting. This is pretty much the debut of the live green screen feature. It might work better if my hardware was a bit gruntier. I don't know. So Classic Kiwi's got a comment here. Being up north, I don't think it's right for people to put up borders. Yeah, well, I mean, I look at it this way. If you guys don't want anyone coming up there, don't think that we're going to let you out. You know, that's kind of the harsh realities of the situation. If you think people can't come in, don't be getting out. And we got a comment here from Melissa Matthews. Those businesses up there are doing it hard and rely on the tourism to get their income for the year. Most going up there will be fully vaccinated based on the fact that most Aucklanders are at this point. Exactly. It just sounds like the typical woe is me scenario, frankly. But I did hear that the Whangarei hospital was at 98% occupancy, which I thought was somewhat concerning. They shouldn't let the vaccinated up north. Kiwi Bear's opinion, not mine. Simply reading the comments. And what do we got here? You said it right. I don't see why people are trying to block out Aucklanders. Makes me feel shit as an Aucklander. Oh, well, we appreciate you. No, I know you don't. I know they don't speak for all Northlanders. And frankly, I think that the fact is, is Honi Harawira the MP for Te Tai Tokoro? Is that the case, or is it Kelvin? Or is he I don't know, is he the spokesman for the iwis? I don't quite know what his title is, to be honest. But I know that he does not speak for all of Te Tai Tokoro. What are the normal occupancy rates, though? I don't know. I do not know. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The iwi roadblocks. I mean, it always seems to become a race issue, and I think that's unfortunate. I think there's been a lot of time, and I think that they really need to take responsibility, make sure that their whānau are vaccinated, and quit making excuses. We're tired of these excuses. Okay, so I'm going to skip right on and cross over to this topic, and this is a hot topic in women's, not only in women's sports. Oh, hang on. Dang it. I think I just went back. This is a hot topic, not just in women's sports, but in human rights. And in fact, of course, women's rights. And what is concerning is that... okay, I'm trying to zoom in on this, guys. Just bear with me. It's going to make for a better viewing experience, hopefully. The WTA, the World Tennis Association, suspends tournaments in China over treatment of Peng Shuai. And that is concerning. Steve Simon said Wednesday that the women's tennis tour would not stage tournaments in China, including Hong Kong, because he has been unable. Excuse me, let's just remove this pop-up. Because he has been unable to communicate with Peng despite repeated attempts. So that's concerning. That's very concerning. Concerning indeed. Home viewers, what's your opinion? Hashtag proof of life from Kiwi Bear Muzzer there. Selena Spain, what's your opinion on this Peng Shuai situation?
I hadn't heard of it until you mentioned it.
Oh, well, what happens pretty regularly in China is that people who speak out against the CCP get disappeared. And what's happened in this instance is that this tennis star was disappeared after she accused a top Communist Party leader of sexual assault. And very concerning stuff in the world of human rights, really. And the fact that it can happen so boldly out in the open like that. And it is certainly cause for concern on just a humanity level, because she was well known by many pro athletes. They've competed and befriended her over the last 20 years.
Well, that's how powerful they are. Like, anyone that speaks out against anything wrong, they will destroy them. And even there's, I don't even think they're allowed Google in some parts of China. And, there's cameras everywhere. Everyone's under mass surveillance. It's very, very evil, actually.
very
power
horrifying
that they have.
situation. Yeah, and I actually heard something today. It's all very, very cunning. A lot of the systems that they've got set over there, for example, traffic and road ticketing cameras. They actually have private road cops that actually set up their own cameras. So you'll actually have poles that have got like 100 cameras on them. And yeah, it's very strange, the kind of society that exists over in these places. So I think that's very concerning. We've got that as an open topic. If anyone wants to chat about that, feel free, get involved. And hello to everybody out there that's viewing. We've got someone on the Guy and Harley podcast. We've got people watching on the Thane Kirby Facebook page. Also someone watching on the Guy and Harley podcast on YouTube.
And Twitch,
and,
did you check?
Also, one person on Twitch as well. Someone on the Talkback with Thane and Sophia on Twitch. Someone on the Benny Mack on Twitch. And two people on Benny Mack on YouTube. And I think that might be Kiwi Bear Muzza. He's in there. And good times indeed, everyone. Apart from if you're Peng Shui, because you have just been disappeared. And disappeared is a nice way of saying murdered.
Eliminated.
So, yeah. Okay, so I'm trying to get through this firewall here.
Okay.
Here we go. Just trying to eliminate Omicron. Oh shit, he just said the fucking word. Omicron Australia COVID updates. New South Wales confirms 6th case of new variant. South Australia records first local COVID cases since borders reopened. Okay, so that's not going to work.
So hopefully it's not going to come here like the Delta came here from Australia as well. Didn't it?
Yeah, well, that's obviously a possibility. And what are you doing there? You're beating the desk into submission?
No, I've got this turntable case. That's what I'm resting my laptop on. And I'm just playing with the little latches because I just haven't...
Yeah, well, try not to play with them during the show because it's fearing through the microphone and I can quite hear it quite loud in my ears. Thank you. I know you'll probably be editing this later and wondering why you did it. Okay, so this is a whole lot of world news on cnet.com. There's a few, headlines, right? Headlines, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Boom, boom, boom. What headline grabs you the most, really?
What's that? What's that? The biggest tech fails of 2021.
The biggest tech fails of 21. It says of 2021. It says from vaccine misinformation to random internet outages to yet another T-Mobile data breach.
Actually, there were two major hacks here in New Zealand. The District Health Board of Waikato, wasn't it? Hospital.
Oh, there was some huge.
Very embarrassing.
There was a bunch of hacks this year. Yep, a lot of DDoS attempts, which is denial of service, and that means that they're basically overloading the servers with requests, and then it crashes. So the biggest tech fails of 2021. We all thought 2020 was the pinnacle of awfulness with a pandemic sweeping the globe, race relations boiling over, and misinformation spreading unchecked. And then 2021 showed up and said, "Hold my beer." How did everyone else's 2021 go? How was it compared to 2020? How about what did you prefer? Did you enjoy your
me? You told
me. Did you enjoy your 2021 or your 2020 better? Which was better for you?
I'll have to backtrack a little bit because I just remember the first lockdown Yep. And just how sort of intense that was, when the level 4, because it was all new, and we had
So
to
maybe
wear,
this year was a little bit easier for you.
What do you want me to explain it? Well,
I'm trying to keep.
no,
I'm just trying to
no.
keep the tempo of the show up. It's sort of
Um,
dragging a bit. I try and keep it a pacey show. When people
Yeah, I just sort of lost my momentum. I wonder why. This year was different, probably more energetic, and it's become better the second half.
Okay, so the second half's been getting better. The
Yeah.
story says that a lot of the problems that we experienced in 2020, from misinformation to ransomware to QAnon, took it up a notch this year. While 2020 was a steady drip of terrible news, this year was arguably worse because the brief glimpse of hope we did get, the vaccines, were snatched away by
Who
the
wrote
Delta
that?
variant. This is on CNET. This is an article on CNET. And this is leaving us with more uncertainty.
That's an American-based publication, is it not?
Yep, this is about the biggest tech fails of 2021. Remember, you wanted me to.
Yeah. Okay.
You wanted
Why
me
are you
to.
being mean? Why are you being mean to me? Okay, so
Oh,
what?
I'm having the
What?
best night ever. I'm
Yeah.
having the best night ever.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just trying to sort of
Just
keep the
jealous.
show moving, and try not to let it
Yeah,
lag
no.
or stall too much, because honestly, I watch a lot of podcasts, and when it sort of stalls or where there's dead air, it's excruciating.
There's no dead air. You're over-analyzing everything. So I have a question, and it's to Melissa. Melissa, do you know Dan? Am I on the right track here? Is it Melissa Matthews, Dan Matthews? Is she still there? Is it
Yeah, I
Dan
think that's Dan's partner.
Is it Dan Ox?
I believe so.
Okay, good. Right, awesome, because Dan's got a great story about how he started getting into DJing.
Oh, we've got to get him on. We've
Yeah,
got to
we
get
do.
him on.
Melissa, can you bring Dan on? That'd be
I
great.
can't wait.
I can hear the ice. I'm going to have to edit that out, Benny. The ice sound is just too annoying. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's actually good. It's all fun. But can you take it? So anyway, she will be in the basement on his block as payback. I'm not sure that relates to. What do you think about the new leader of the National Party? Can someone remind me who's the new leader? Because I heard it in a news briefing about a day ago, but kind of being
Christopher
quite busy
Luxon.
and not really following all the news. So
Christopher Luxon. He's the new leader. He's the biggest nerd in New fucking Zealand. We got Christopher Luxon. He's like burned his head with a freaking.
You're
in the
muted.
fire.
Ouch.
I'm just muted. And why am I seeing a soundbar
You're
here?
muted.
Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, well, I'm having a great show. We hope everybody at home's having a fucking excellent show. This doesn't get old at all. And, what do we think of the new party of the National Party leader? He's a great guy. I trust him with my money. I think he's going to do good for the country because I think he's rich, and I think that New Zealanders like rich white men, and I think he's going to be really cool. He's like a Christian, and I don't think that's good because we're a godless country. We don't go to church anymore. We'll do anything though. Everyone will get vaccinated for Christmas because of baby Jesus. And everyone loves Jesus at Christmas time. But all the rest of the times in the year, we are a godless nation. And now they've got the new National Party leaders, some fucking evangelical church guy. What a goon. And he's also like anti-abortion or something. What is this guy, like in the 1800s era? What a fucking goon. He looks like a real nerd. What else? He's John Key's best mate. Good luck with that. What else? What else don't I like about this dweeb? The name. I hate the fucking name. Like it's a horrible name. Luxor or Luxor. It sounds kind of like that fucking, that casino in Las Vegas that like Chris Angel Mind Freak sort of like epiphanized out of the ceiling. I think he's really cool. I think he's way better than Luxor. It's kind of like a fake luxury brand. It's like they've spelt luxury wrong. They're trying to sell it off as some sort of like luxurious new leader. He's just some sort of goon. I don't like him. I don't want him to be there. But I'm glad he is because I can laugh at him. I can make jokes now. Bridges was also a nerd. But I think it's good that he's going to be finance minister because he's a nerd and he knows about finance. And I think it's going to work out okay for the National Party because they're just going to keep doing what they're doing, which is nothing. And I'm pretty excited to see what Ack's going to get up to because, old mate off Dancing with the Stars. He really knows how to do it. He's real goofy too. And that's what I like about him. Old David Seymour, is that his name? David Seymour, that goofy goon off Dancing with the Stars. He ain't a star. He's a dweeb, and I think that's why they keep him around. And he's in charge of like Epsom. He's hanging out in Epsom. Like I go to Hell Pizza Epsom sometimes. Like they're pretty good. I mean, those pizzas down there are pretty good. You got to eat it quick. Eat it while it's hot. And what cracks me up is when I drive past all the MP offices and the office is a dump, or it's closed all the time and there's never anyone there, and it looks just like a real waste. Some of them have got signs all over them. I really like it when the signs are like, have been left to degrade, and maybe there's like a crease down the middle of the MP's face and it's peeling. That's kind of a real good aesthetic. I think it's great for your votership. It makes them see that you care and that you want to actually, if you're MP, your brand shouldn't be you, shouldn't be your name. The brand should be your fucking your electorate. You're not the product. The electorate's the damned product. Incentivize the electorate. Give the power back to the electorate. Be the electorate. Call yourself, like, if your name's like Jim fucking Stantonopoulos and you're leading in like Mount Wellington, just call yourself Stan Mount Wellington. Get a fucking tattoo on your face. Make them know that you're serious. Make them know that you're serious and that you're going to make a difference and that you're accountable and that it's not about you. It's about the brand. What's the brand? It's Mount Wellington. Make a stand for the Mount and, be accountable. Hey, Selena Spain, thanks for coming through and joining us. What a broadcast.
Yeah, branding. Brands. Brand Auckland. I know they get a bit of a, they're a little bit misunderstood here. So, but it's funny because, a lot of people in Auckland that I've met that have come in from other countries and settled here, they haven't actually seen the rest of the country and are really, really, really interested to hear about other parts of the country and the South Island. They're like, they're just so interested and curious, and it's sad when Aucklanders get judged because there's just this what do you call it, cliche that we're all jaffers and idiots and assholes. So But
thank you so much for bringing the show up to such a good note at the end of the show. This has been another broadcast of Talking Smack with Benny Mack, and as always, I'm trying to keep the energy up and not get caught up in the horse shit. But anyway, thanks for everyone for joining us. We'll be back again tomorrow night.